Let's recap. I had a tenant for 12 years. The first 10 years, all was well, except for that short stint she spent in jail, but I understood. We're human. Ish happens. Then March of 2020 rolled in, and the world as we knew it shut down. Everyone was ordered to stay in the house. Walmart and Target could not sell you food. Court shut down. If business wasn't deemed essential, you weren't allowed to do it. If caught, you were fined. If fined, you had to pay. These were the rules for everyone, but my tenant took it another step further. She decided she wasn't going to pay rent either. For 18 months, she stood her ground. For 18 months, I tried to reason with her. Ish didn't work. I took her to court. I won. She was evicted. And instead of leaving like a respectable adult, she flooded my ish. I cried. I laughed. I cried some more. Insurance stepped in and said it was all covered. The water damage, the vents that the tenant poured beans and mayonnaise down, the stove that she smashed up. And now we are here. The road to rehabilitate a beautiful home that was in an abusive relationship. This is the road to renovation. We're going to learn, we're going to grow, and we may even mess some stuff up. But hey, at least we'll be messing things up together.
Oh, lights, cameras, action. Hey, builders.
Builders?
Yep, we're Fab, the builders.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that memo.
Exactly, it just came out. Hey, builders.
Hi, builders.
So we are on our way to the site. And Gwen, this is gonna be your first time.
Yes.
In
Forever.
Since exactly. Where the heck have you been?
Living my life. No, helping other people live their lives.
Ninja. So we're excited to see your reaction. Actually, this is gonna be both of our first time seeing what the new team has done.
Oh, okay. Oh, awesome. That should be good.
And they actually was there today too. So they'll probably be gone by the time we get there.
Oh, I know you were trying to see them beforehand, right? Or,
No.
Okay.
I just want to see what they're doing. I just want to see the progress. You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah, so yesterday and today was their first day
Oh.
working. Yeah.
Do they just work on weekends, or they just work when they work?
Let me tell you. All right. So yeah, you know we went through the whole thing where the last team
They tried to pull a fast one.
and you know my spidey senses was bothered early on. I'm gonna say even from the first phone call.
Really? Wow.
Early on, and looking back at the footage, you realize like, oh, that was for a reason. But at the same time, when you don't know a certain thing, like I don't know nothing about water mitigation, anything, you try to go with the best. You try to hope for the best that they're gonna work. They're gonna do their job basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you try not to feel like, oh, I don't want to try to micromanage or not even micromanage, but you don't try to get too much in your feelings.
Well, they're supposed to be the professional.
They're supposed to be the professionals.
And you got them through the insurance company.
Yes.
So it's not your job to vet them. It's actually the insurance company's job to have vetted them.
Uh-huh.
So if you're going through someone that an insurance company has recommended, then your thought is they have already done their due diligence, and this is a reputable company.
And so it's hard to differentiate between when your feelings are your feelings because it's instinct, or your feelings are your feelings because either you're worried or scared or fear. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Where's these feelings coming from? So even from the first phone call where they was like, they want to come out, but I felt like, but wait, still got a whole bunch of stuff in the house. Got to get that stuff out first. Because obviously it's going to be easier for everybody to work with a clean slate. Not with all this stuff in the way. But they talked me into it. And the first talk was, oh, we can get that stuff out. Turned out that was a lie. And then the second one was when the people came, they were like, oh, we can work around it. It was just all the stuff. Like they have been lying and giving me false promises since day one. And then when I started seeing what they were doing, some of it was like, okay, fine, they tore out everything, right? But then some of it was like, but why didn't they tear out the places where the water actually was? You better pay attention to me. Okay?
I was listening.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like, why didn't they tell the places where the water actually was? The water started in those 2 bathrooms upstairs and poured down through the ceilings. They didn't tear that stuff out. And so I kept calling to ask. And when I would talk to the workers don't know nothing. They were workers. You know, they were giving marching orders. Right. So, and they was like, oh, don't worry. We're gonna gut this whole thing. That's what they would say. All of that was a lie. And when I would call back and talk to the person in charge of the file, she would say stuff like, oh, well, it's already dry and we can't take out what's already dry. I'm like, but wait a minute. This is where the water started. And then you're already telling me that some other place where the water didn't even start isn't even dry yet. So if that was where it started, how is it that that's dry? And y'all didn't even pull up the vinyl, the floor. So it was a lot of that, right? And then they submitted that bill for $38,000, and that's when my insurance was like, "Oh, wait a minute, this is high." Like, you know, I'm used to looking at bills. This is high, even for what I'm used to seeing. Try to call around and find somebody else. Okay, fine. So now we got somebody else. The somebody else is in there today, and they called me today to say there was a lot of mold underneath that vinyl. Mind you, I've had like at least 4 conversations with this company about the vinyl, and you know what they did to shut me up? They went up there and she says, oh, they did the vinyl. They pulled the vinyl. When we went back to check, they cut a slit in the vinyl and pulled up a slit, not the whole floor. And so even today, it was like, they don't understand why those people did what they did. They said that those people jacked it up worse than what it would have been had they just done it right. And I really feel like the reason why is because they created a condition for mold to grow so that they can charge more to treat mold. So yeah.
Well, so it's good on a couple of fronts. One, the insurance companies should be grateful that you are paying attention, you know, and that the fact that they're bringing to light a company maybe they should no longer do business with.
And that's what I got to figure out. Like, how does this company get off of their list?
Because that's, you know, it's like, did they just let them on? Have they always been on? You know, what's the deal? How do you allow...
And here's the thing, though. This is DuraClean, right? But it's not the DuraClean that's near my property. It's another DuraClean. Because the DuraClean that's near my property is not on the list. I'm just like, girl... And I feel like they're like the McDonald's of water mitigation people. For real, that's what it felt like. I was getting McDonald's service. It's almost like, okay, we're a big company. So what that means is that they probably have like a bunch of subcontracts that they subcontract to work out to.
Yeah.
So therefore, when you think you're talking to the person in charge, they're really not the person. It's just a lot. And every time I went back, it was a different crew. It wasn't the same crew every time. So... yeah, so now this is the new company, the people, and they're not on the approved list. And we talked, and she was like, okay. So she found out what they would have to do to be on the approved list. They've only been a company for 4 years. They've only been in business for 4 years. And to be on an approved list, you have to have some certain certification for at least 3 years. So see, they don't have the time and service yet, but they're almost there. But so far, I've been super pleased with them, from the process of them giving me a quote to now.
Communication.
DuraClean ain't never communicated with me. I already told you that from the time, from them leaving a freaking key underneath the mat. Like, what? But yeah. So now this is going to be our first time going out and seeing what they did. But I still like to believe that for whatever reason, all of this stuff is working out so it could be in perfect timing for whatever needs to happen next, you know what I mean?
It is, and it will be. Because, I mean, if you look at what had already happened, it exposed bad service and issues that might have been found. Like, say, you had never discovered that, and then you let them do the whole house, everything gets done, and then someone else comes to purchase the house, and they do a mold check.
Yep.
And all that, it'll have to come up anyway, again, or you lose people wanting to purchase it. Or then the vultures come out and say, well, I hear you got this issue and that issue, and if you cut out, it's going to cost $60,000 to fix it, so I want to offer you, $80,000 less.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all of that.
So that's why I said, that's what I always believe at the end of the day, that all of this is for some greater reason. even though it feels like BS sometimes, you know, dealing with certain people.
Do you ever say to them, like when they say something to you and you're like, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. I'm going to run this by my insurance. I'm going to ask my insurance. Do you ever?
Oh, yeah. So that's so with them, girl, yes, back and forth. And then it was like to the point where, like, for instance, I asked them for the bill. She said she can't give me the bill.
The same company? Girl?
Yes, girl. First of all, y'all, you sending a bill to my insurance. I want to see the bill. She told me she can't send a bill. Blah, 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 blah. So I called my insurance. And then next thing I know, my insurance got back in touch. And then I called her back. I said, okay, my insurance will be in touch with you. Then she sent me the bill. But guess what? Come to find out, the bill she sent me wasn't even the bill. It was some other, girl, they doing Jedi mind tricks all the way. So now my insurance guy, because he was going over it, I said, this doesn't look like we have the same bills. This isn't the bill I have. He goes, oh, he says, well, when they send their final bill, I'll send it to you so you can look over it. Because my whole thing to him was, I want to see what they claiming they did.
But again, you have plans for that property and you want to be able to, if your goal was to sell it, you want to sell a good property for a good price, you know, and not have to all of a sudden find out that they took shortcuts.
And then come to find out, so remember my insurance says, boom, you use their thing, you get 3-year warranty. Well, the people who's doing the work now, they come with a 5-year warranty anyway.
Nice.
So, all right, y'all, we're gonna see y'all at the property. Gwen apologizes for not being here for y'all.
We here. We are gonna go and see how things look to be going. Oh, do we need masks? I don't know how it's all right, guys, we're back in the house. The other team has been here
Wow.
all day, like yesterday and today.
Jeez,
Oh look, they can you turn that light off in the bathroom?
this does not even look like aside from that coming down, but just looking at the stuff the way it is, it doesn't look like it was cabinet, like someone should have been there living in it.
Well, you see how, if you look in there, you can see how she was painting that.
Yeah.
You see like how it was like half painted but not?
That's horrible. It's a horrible job.
Yeah, and then I was pointing out like things like there's some things in the wall. Like even here, it was like you can see, because you can see the dents of a either knuckle print or footprint. Like what are those, toes? Or you see what I'm saying right here?
Yeah.
So those are punches, intentional punches.
Right, too. And this looks like a watermark.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah. So, but these people, so they came. So look, they said that they tore out some more stuff. So here goes some stuff right here. The first team did this. They took out all of this wall. No, this is what the first team did. Door cleaning. Yeah. So you see, they took out the ceiling and all of this, but they didn't take out anything up there. And this is where all of this was coming from, up there. And they did this, they took out this whole kitchen, door cleaning. All right, and there was some insulation left right up there, so it looks like this team that just came in took that stuff out. Looks like they took some more stuff out. But yeah, they took out everything. And this stuff is just... Alright, so that closet is still intact. Alright, let's go up the stairs. Yes. So the first team took out the carpet on the steps, all the way down the steps, but they didn't do anything up here. So this team, as you see, they took out the carpet. This is between yesterday and today. And they took out look it, they took out all of this. The first team didn't take out any of this. So they took all that out. Awesome. So it looks like they did the 2-foot cut around everything.
This is a master, right?
Yes. And they took out, yeah, so they took out the, oh, I forgot to ask them about up here. I'm going to ask in there, because I noticed that that is a jar, so I don't even know, like if she, remember we found meat and stuff in the closets, so I don't know if they stuffed stuff up here, specifically. Yeah, and so you can even tell the water on this, on the floor. Because they didn't pull any of this up. And I was like, this is where like water was pouring out of here. And you could walk on the rug here and the rug would be sloshing with water. But yet DuraClean didn't pull any of this. And so they did this. And they pulled out the stuff. And I'm noticing that they got the these things, well, I guess from when they pulled the thing. I gotta ask about the beans and stuff. The beans and mayonnaise, because DuraClean was supposed to clean the vents. They didn't do that. So, okay, let's go down to the basement.
I just remember how you kept the house so nice.
Yeah. And I was saying, I lived in the house over there the same amount of time she lived here. And the way she had this looking versus my house over there, like, come on. All right, so yep, they finished this because they left. They took out the cabinets that was on the wall. But they left the whole vanity thing sitting here that had a bunch of water damage on it. So this one came in and they took this out.
So this tile, they didn't put this back down, did they?
No, this is my tile. And then you see that they did the bathroom. DuraClean did not, and again, this is where all the water was coming from, the bathrooms and stuff. But they didn't tear out anything in the bathroom. So these people did. So they did that, and they did the 2-foot cuts, or it's more than 2 feet, but y'all know what I'm saying. Instead of cutting out all of the wall, the drywall, they did, so far up. And then they did this closet, because this closet, and I seen mold on the bottom of this with the closet. So they cut this. DuraClean left all of that stuff. What does that door go to? I don't even know.
At the bottom half of something.
Oh, probably right there, where that pipe is. From the back of the, if you needed to get into the back of the tub.
Yeah.
So that's what they did. They did that. And then it looks as if maybe they were chemically treating it with stuff. Is that what this is?
And maybe just for insects and stuff too.
Because they have like a whole bunch of white towels. But sometimes they spray it down with like a bleach thing to help kill the molds. So they cut this too, because this was open, because Jay, bless him, crawled in there. This was packed with stuff. And Jay took all that stuff out. I gave up. And it was like bags and bags of clothes and stuff. It was all wet.
Yeah, considering you see the other videos progress.
Yeah, so they finished cutting these ceilings. Because DuraClean did some of it and then left some of it. It was weird. They left it like they just weren't finished. And so they just went ahead and cut the rest out.
The new company.
The new company. What?
No, I said I did see some things where, like, say like your lighting fixtures and things like that. If they don't have to replace those, that's where you're gonna. Those are the costs for you. I don't know what the plan is for painting and stuff like that. Like,
well, the way I see it is the new company is called Somebody Painting and Construction.
okay.
And the way I also see it is because they had to redo these walls and stuff that they probably, you know,
But well, you know, because I mean,
will probably go in and do everything.
Right. Well, they, you know, for you may have to pay the extra to paint these walls, but not the walls that they have to build back up.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some out of pocket.
And plus, like I said, because even things like that stuff is done by the person.
Yeah.
But yeah, so some
you
stuff
have to pay for that because that's part of the damage.
Yeah. Now some of the stuff that I'm gonna probably have to pay for is, like, let's say replacing this door.
Yeah. Yep.
Because that is more wear and tear from the doorknob crashing into the door, you know? He already said that.
Think in sale. Think in terms of what you really think it's worth. Like, say, for example, I'm just using the conversation that you said somebody sold it for a certain amount, 300 plus, right?
380.
And this one is, it can be valued at that versus what you owe. So it may be worth you to invest in new doors.
To make, yeah, because it's almost like if you're going to have these new appliances and stuff, why have a janky door?
Exactly.
Yeah, and so like the stove is covered because we saw that she purposely damaged that. But the refrigerator, the dishwasher, that stuff is not.
Right.
So that would be me buying in,
But you're investing in it, and you already will be. She's helped you increase the value of your home by damaging it.
Yep.
So your out-of-pocket costs are really not out-of-pocket costs.
Maybe 5,000 to 10,000, maybe. That's stretching. Yeah. Like the tubs upstairs, like for instance, the shower is not covered under insurance. It's just dirty. He was like, that's hard living. But I can talk to the people who are doing the thing to put in a new shower.
Right. And we go to Home Depot. I'm telling you, for the house downtown, we got some great. They're like $100 and something shower.
Yep.
It's not.
And being that they're here doing the work, they can put the shower in while they're at it. Now let me ask you this: what do you think about the floors? These floors, like the tile. Because right now, wood is more of a modern option.
It is. Again, for me, if you're thinking about sell, I would opt probably for wood. And I just don't know. Like, even if you just did, wood just here.
But I'm even thinking about cost. And this tile doesn't look like it's bad. Because he told me, he said what they will do is clean the tile and regrout it.
I'm just concerned about what's underneath it at this point. Was there water all over here too?
No, The water was coming down from the ceiling onto like the counter. So this wasn't wet with water.
I just know me personally. This would have to come up to make sure, especially if I was going to live here, I wouldn't be comfortable knowing that water didn't get under here. No, I was just saying how it's just sad when you think about, like, the homes have history, right? And you can see the wear and tear. Like, there's parts of it that are wear and tear that are obvious, and then you just look at how hard someone lived in a house that they truly didn't care about, but they called it their home and did not want to leave their home that they thought so little of in the end. You know what I mean? Even if you're renting it, it's, it's just sad to me that someone could be so thoughtless and so vengeful to have to leave something that they weren't taking care of in the first place anyway. And then just going in there, the energy for me was saddening. It just felt, that's how I felt just looking at this. It's just like you had a nice structured home, because I remember before you moved and we would come over here and stay the night and hang out, stuff like that, and then
have all the parties,
and then yet someone lives so hard in your home that it's complete. Even if everything was still in there, it still probably would have felt the same, because they did not care for a place that they tried to call home for themselves. Like, they didn't even care about it.